During class. Okay, so when you are facing a villain who has a hostage, you need to first.
Sudden loud popping sound as she suddenly appears. Ha ha ha. That's right. Where am I?
Size. Just sit down and wait for the lesson to end, and the brats will explain.
Looks at Aizawa and raises an eyebrow. How about I just kill you and they can tell me now?
Turns to Uraraka. Well, this was bound to happen sooner or later.
God damn it.
Deku smash? Yes, dumbass. Rolling his eyes in annoyance.
Laughing at the absurdity.
Grabs the back of Uraraka's neck.
Wah.
Sorry. Shocks her with electricity.
When the hell did you even get behind her?
Lets Uraraka drop to the floor. I started walking over to her when she threatened Sensei's life.
Questioning Mina face. How the heck did we miss that?
Shrugs.
Points at Uraraka. What are we going to do with her?
I can freeze her. I can bind her. Sparkles. Kinky. Sparkles.
Blushing.
Goes over and puts Quirk's dampening cuffs on Uraraka. Enough. I've placed her under arrest for the time being. When she wakes you can talk with her. Classes are almost over anyway.
Sounds fun. I'd like to know how this Uraraka became a villain.
I mean, even I gotta know what exactly could cause Uraraka to become a villain.
Giving him a suspicious glance. I highly doubt that's all you want out of this.
Evil smile. I'm just hoping to get a minute alone with villain girl.
Even the worst villain doesn't deserve that. Getting sick at the thought of what could happen. I agree with Yamomo. Nodding silently.
Sorry dude, but even I agree.
Don't apologize, Kaminari.
Enough, back to the lesson. Walks back to the podium. After a few minutes, back at the dorms.
Groans as she wakes up. What the fuck?
Ah. Finally awake sleepyhead.
Looks at him with a glare. Piss off.
Sends out a tentacle towards the staircase. Guys, she's awake. A number of people came down the stairs.
Yay. Greetings. Thanks for keeping guard, Shoji-kun. You had this guy watching me? No, we had him guarding you while you were passed out, to keep you safe. Looks at Uraraka. Himiko Toga, I've told you repeatedly to stop messing with me.
Points to Uraraka. That's not Toga, she's our world's Uraraka. Let me explain. Explains what's going on.
Questioning face. So, I'm stuck in this world for a few hours all because that bimbo saved some jackass? Geez, and I thought Bakugo had a mouth on him.
Besides the insults, that's kinda the short of it, I guess.
In general, when this happens, we just try to figure out the differences between me and, well, in this case, you. Then afterwards we decide what to do. So I have a couple questions. Leans back and crosses her legs. Ask away, bitch. Not like I got anything better to do. Staring at her is shock. Wow. I never could have imagined a personality this drastically different. First of all, are you just really foul-mouthed, or actually a villain? Scoffs. Really, dumbass? You still prescribe to that whole villain-hero bullshit? Heroes are just toxic sons of bitches that use their fucking popularity to get away with crimes. They're not much better than the villains they chase in most cases. Thinking about what she just said. Sounds like in your world, heroes aren't all that virtuous. That's got to be part of the differences between the worlds. That or you all are just blind.
What do you mean?
Rolling her eyes. Heroes are practically worshipped as protectors of justice where I'm from. I mean, good God, they can barely do wrong. People are so blinded by the popularity that they miss the damage those heroes cause. But I guess to answer your question, I'm considered a villain. Ha, I knew it. So, what made you turn towards that life?
Yeah, there had to have been a reason, right?
What's up? Turns away. That's personal.
As odd as this is for you, there is a chance that we can at least help you get these feelings out.
Yes. At the very least, that will help you get some closure. Besides, it's either that, or you can just sit here with quirk suppression cuffs on until you inevitably return to your world. And potentially keep the cuffs on you when you go. Yamomo giving a devious smirk. Responding with a sour glare. Yep. You're a hero, all right. Sighs. Fine. I'm trying to kill the hero that killed my parents. That's why I became a villain. What? Shocked to hear that's her reason.
Hold on, a hero is the one who killed your parents?
Yeah, and when the villain that the hero was fighting saw me crying over my parents' bodies, he tried to get the hero to call for paramedics by giving himself up and pointing us out. Well, that's unusual. I'm just guessing that things didn't go that well afterwards. My parents had holes in their abdomens, and were collapsed on the ground trying to tell me to run for my life. The villain this hero had chased down was trying to get them medical help by giving up. What the hell do you think happened next? Well, we'd hoped the hero would do the right thing, cuff the villain, and call for emergency services. TCH, maybe in a perfect world, but no, the world isn't perfect. That horrid, vile, scumbag of a hero cuffed the villain and started dragging him off. The villain was shouting at the asshole to get help from my parents. But his and my cries for help were waved off to the side with one simple statement. They're already gone. My parents, who were crying and telling me to get to safety, died around 30 minutes later, because their wounds were partially cauterized and the bleed-out was slowed. They died in my arms, slowly bleeding to death, concerned for my safety. They could have been helped, they might have even been saved if that hero had just did what the villain had asked him to do.
Everyone present was stunned. That's horrible.
When did this happen? Turns away. On my 7th birthday. Oh God, I'm so sorry.
That's horrible.
Shut. Falls back with a thud and looks scared. Huh? Uraraka? Looks at her. Uraraka, what's wrong?
Takes a step towards her. You look as though you've seen a ghost.
No way. No. Uraraka? They would have died? I've relived that day over and over again, and one moment stood out to me the most. It was the choice my parents made to go around the fight. I remember that day. My parents thought it was better to stick with the crowd for safety.
Looking back and forth between the two Urarakas that are now looking at each other. Wait, so.
Are you thinking that the main difference between you both is that your parents chose different paths for going home? No way. That can't be right. Wait, but if that's the case, our Uraraka was one misstep away from becoming a villain. No. I wouldn't. I would never. Can you put the news on, please? I beg your pardon? Look, I asked nicely, so would you turn the TV on, and put it on a news network, you bitch? Geez, sure. No need to be rude. Walks over and turns the TV on.
That concludes our interview with Vernon. Now on to other news. The edgy hero Black Flame has recently risen in popularity and rank, with his capture of the gambling villain Cards. Cards is considered particularly difficult to capture, due to his quirk's ability to switch just about any objects, including himself, with any objects that he attacks using the cards he creates from the palm of his hand.
Oh wow. Worried and concerned. No, not Cards. Huh? I get you're a villain, but you don't even know our world. How can you Cards was the one who fed and raised me after I nearly starved to death.
What?
After my parents died, I had no home or options. I ended up on the streets. Cards found me half dead and took me back to his hideout. He practically raised me as his daughter after that. Glancing at the others with concern before turning back to AU Uraraka. Well, he's more than likely not the same guy as in your world, AU Uraraka. Right? Probably. Biting her lip. Might I inquire as to the name of which hero you're after? He's called the Flame Hero, Determination.
Everyone present looked at each other. Do you, by chance, know what his ranking is?
It's not high. He's maybe upper mid-rank or so. Midoriya, does that name sound familiar?
A little, but not really. I'd need to check my notebooks.
Go get them, Deku-kun.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Uraraka's response was so quick, it almost made everyone question what was going on in her head. Okay. I'll be right back. Izuku walked back up the stairs.
We may have gone down different paths, but if you're thinking what I'm thinking, then... Uraraka? I don't know if there's anything I can do for you. But maybe I can at least try. Look, I already know everything about my target. I just can't seem to get to them. Suddenly gets an idea and goes rigid. Uraraka, were you thinking of giving her Midoriya's notes on that hero? Maybe. Uraraka, you'd be condemning someone, and even more so that would be aiding and abetting a villain. Would it? Huh? There's no proof I'm a villain other than a story that, for all you know, could be just a tall tale. And besides, I'd only be reading an entry to myself.
Whoa.
Uraraka, you're scaring me. Terrified by what she's hearing. You sure about this? Other than giving you the chance to meet my parents, it's all I can think to do. And I doubt you'd get much if any time with them if I tried to get you together.
Everyone was staring at Uraraka, when Izuku came back downstairs with one of his notebooks. Walks up to Uraraka. Here you go.
Takes the notebook. Thank you, Deku-kun.
Uraraka looked at the old book, it had a 7 on the front. Which she found to be rather ironic. As she opened the first page, she found a table of contents which helped her find the entry quickly.
Hey. What? If you do this, there's no going back. You know that, right? Look, I don't want to be the one to ruin your life. So unless you're absolutely sure about this, don't read whatever's in that book. Gah, I can't believe this, but I'm with AU Uraraka. Just put the notebook down. There are other ways to handle this. Yeah, come on. What else could I possibly do? We only have a couple hours, and anything else I could do would only be temporary. It was one tiny mistake, that wasn't even her fault, that sent her down the path of a villain. Deku, say something, this is your notebook.
Izuku looked at Uraraka and sighed before shaking his head. No.
But Midoriya.
Under normal circumstances I might say something. But for once I'm just going to let things play out. Several people wanted to speak up, but they couldn't think of anything to say.
Gives a resigned sigh. Look, it's my vendetta, my parents, and my problem. You may be me, but at the same time you're not. So unless you want to throw away everything you've ever done, then just put the fucking book down. Looks disappointed at her own actions. Fine.
Uraraka took one last look at the entry, before closing it and tossing the book back to Izuku.
By the way, I need to use the restroom. Can one of you please take these cuffs off?
Everyone in the class looked at each other.
You do have the keys to these cuffs, right? Oops. Fuck.
After an hour or so, Uraraka, AU Uraraka, and Izuku were sitting together in Uraraka's dorm room.
Thank fuck we got those cuffs off. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Probably, Could have thought that one through a bit more on our part.
It's fine. You know, it's kinda bittersweet to know how different my life could have been. Hee hee, yeah. That's rapidly becoming my existence anymore. You're the fourth me I've met at this point, and all but one of them has made me question so many things. Wondering something. Where do I stand when compared to shocking twists?
Like if we were to rank all of them?
Yeah, I'm curious. I had to rank you, I'd say solid second place.
Yeah, same.
Who's first? Can't help but wonder why she ended up second. The one just before you, she had a quirk called Undead, and just meeting her forced me into facing the reality of my mortal existence. What the fuck? It's a long story. Never mind. I don't want to know. Hey, would you mind getting me a drink? Oh, sure. I'll be right back.
Uraraka left her room.
Hey, kid? Why didn't you try to stop the other me from reading that entry? I know she would have stopped if you had asked.
Is it really that important for you to know?
Yeah.
Sighs. It's because I've been there.
Gives him a quizzical look.
I was bullied for years because I was quirkless. I wanted nothing more than to be a hero. But almost everyone was trying to beat me into giving up on that dream. But I never gave up. Without realizing it, I repressed a lot of hate and resentment.
I see.
I ended up getting a little lucky, and someone gave me the chance to earn a quirk. All my hate and resentment ended up getting channeled into working and earning my quirk.
How is all of this relevant?
It's relevant because those experiences gave me an understanding of how Uraraka was feeling. Every day for about 10 years, I saw myself in the mirror and all I could see was someone I wished I had the power to help. Uraraka was going through that experience for the first time ever today. Knowing exactly how that feels, I just couldn't bring myself into stopping her. She had to make the choice of which path she wanted to go down on her own.
She was really going to do it, you know.
Yeah, I know. At one point I was going to as well.
Heavy sigh. Keep her on the straight and narrow for me once I'm out of you hair, okay? I want to know that at the very least, she gets to have a happy life with the family and friends that I never got.
I'll do my best.
Thanks.
Oh, and by the way, Determination liked to hang out in the red light district and gamble at an underground casino called Lair of the Bear on Tuesday nights.
Surprised. Why would you?
Uraraka popped out of existence. After another minute or two, Uraraka came back.
Oh, did her time run out?
Yeah. It kinda sucks, we were in the middle of a lovely conversation too.
That seems to happen every time. Sighs. I just hope that I did enough to make sure she's better off.
Oh, don't worry, I have a feeling she'll be doing just fine.
Looks at Deku oddly. If you say so, Deku-kun. Want some tea?
Yes, please. The end of Part 4.